has been an awakening. Have you felt it?
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Fan Awakens. My name is Eli, and we are back on the Celebration Cantina. It's been a while since we've been on this journey, but somehow we have returned. And with me today, my glorious guest, Parade Rainer from ReignCore. How you doing, man?
Good. Thanks for having me back. I'm super excited to talk about Japan 2025 Star Wars Celebration. It's happening. We're in the thick of it.
We have a few things we're going to go over today. I'm so stoked to have you here. Tickets went on sale today. That is the big gist of why we're here. We're going to talk about what we're most excited for, how the ticketing went for us. I'd like to hear how it went for y'all. But before we get into that, I know you guys have probably seen Parade here before. If you've been here before, if you haven't, he has his own channel called ReignCore. He's got a couple big things going. I happen to be repping one of his new ventures here, ReignCore merch. It feels great. T-shirt quality is awesome. And I've been rocking this one pretty much all week. So can you tell us a little bit about that first?
Yeah. You can check out my shirts and my personal designs on ReignCoreClothing.com. Because we're in Star Wars season right now, we're in the thick of it. May the 4th is happening. Star Wars Celebration is happening. I have the Long Live the Empire shirt design. You can pick up one of these. We even have it on mugs if you don't like geek shirts. But more designs will be coming soon. I want to put some up for May the 4th and moving forward. So please check out Instagram for links, and that's ReignCoreClothing.com.
Excellent way to celebrate May the 4th. I will tell you, it all helps everything going around here. His channel, my channel, it all goes full circle. So, and it's well priced. So, without further ado, though, Celebration Japan. We're locked in. We're locked in 10 toes. Because, look, I don't normally buy. I'm assuming most people watching this have bought tickets. And if you haven't, that's still totally fine. But when you buy the tickets, it gives you the option to buy merch immediately for something that's almost a year away, which I typically don't do. But I bought a bunch. I bought a bunch of merch because I'm like, I feel like if I buy merch, I am locking in my trip for sure because it doesn't ship to you. You got to pick it up, which you pointed out to me. So thank you.
Yeah, I saw that too because in 2022 when I went to Anaheim, they did ship it to my house, but there was in the fine print of before the tickets went on sale on the ticket site, they said if you buy merch, you can buy merch, and if you buy it, you're going to have to pick it up, which makes sense because they don't want to do international shipping. And we talked a little bit about it of some of the things we bought. That I bought last in 2022. I bought a shirt. I bought I think I bought the pin and a hat, and the hat quality wasn't great, and I didn't recommend it this year. Because it was like a stitched, but it was like kind of blurry. It didn't seem really great, and the quality of the hat didn't seem great. Hoping whoever bought it this year, they actually have a better experience than I did. If they did spring for the hat, but I did not spring for the hat. I think I saw someone on YouTube wearing the London one, and it looked fine. So maybe the quality is better.
I hope so. They've had a couple at bats, and typically the merch is pretty good. So hats, for whatever reason, was their Achilles heel, along with the lines.
I know when we were in the queue, I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to buy the merch.
I know.
I'm not sure. But the thing is, merch at Celebration goes fast. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to lock in the things I like that I've gotten previous years that I want just to secure that. Because otherwise, it's a up in the air 50-50 if you're going to get merch. And we can talk about that in this video or in another video about merch.
One thing I will say about that, so they don't list everything. There's going to be a ton of stuff in the shop, and it's probably going to be awesome. They only have kind of the basic things, the key art shirt, I think, the kind of logo shirts, hats, tote bags, pins and magnets, pretty much. So, there are other things I'm sure I'll want. But the big thing for me is it's 3 days instead of 4 or 5. And so do I want to dedicate a full, potentially, because you never know. Now, I know in Japan, they're very good at regulating people and lines and things. I don't know if ReadPop will be able to translate that just because they're in Japan. But I doubt it as well. But I don't know that I'm willing necessarily to waste a full day in a line for the store, because that can happen.
Yeah,
so that's why I bought a little merch.
Yeah, that's a good point. I personally, I like merch, so I will dedicate the first day if possible, because again, it's actually based on a lottery system. So you might not even be able to plan it super well, but the way it worked for when I was in Celebration 2022 is if you didn't go the first day, most of that stuff was gone by
Yeah,
Saturday.
that is true. That's another
So
big thing. You got to go first day if you're gonna
you
go.
got to go, yeah, because like literally, it was the first thing we went to. We got to the con, we got in line, we got our ticket, and we went
Same.
straight to the merch. And it was getting picked through pretty quick. And it's funny because we had a plan going in because Celebration will post what merch they'll have there, and so you can kind of like browse and like figure out if it's something what you want, and you kind of want to plan like to get that stuff. But if you don't go right away, most of that stuff might be gone.
The other thing is,
Um,
like, in Chicago, the line was horrendous, and I spent my entire, like, start to finish, my entire first day in a line to get in the store.
Ooh.
Like, we were all queued up to start the con. Con started. The line for the store is right by the entrance. Went to it. Waited in there for, I don't remember how long it was. 9 hours or something. I don't remember.
Oh boy.
However long the
No.
con was, it was 45 minutes less. So we got in, we checked out, and then it was basically time to walk out of the convention.
Ugh.
In Anaheim,
What about
it was like,
yeah? What about Anaheim?
I think it was 3 hours, 3 or 4,
Okay.
3 hours maybe.
I
It was still a good
think
chunk, but
yeah. I think I was in line probably about 2.
which is awesome. I like that's fine. I'm good with
Because
that.
I think you told me when Chicago wasn't it like a merch table and you had to like just go up to it and then buy like it like at a like
So
like
it
a concert.
not necessarily. It was a lot more. It was a lot more organized than Anaheim, though. It was way smaller,
Oh,
but they
okay.
had things like very just lined up. You kind of go down and around, and that's it. I know in Anaheim, it was huge, a huge
Huge space.
room,
Huge room.
and like that was cool and all. But like the lines, man, I remember when we were checking out, the line wrapped around, right? And
Yeah.
then someone came out and it's like, "There's 3 lines," and people
Right.
rushed. People ran like crazy. But like
Yeah.
even with that though, I'm so sorry. One last little thing.
No,
Even
no,
with
you're good.
that, you can find fun in it. Like in Chicago, that long wait. I met some people who I still talk to today, which is
Mhm.
crazy. And in Anaheim, I didn't meet anyone new in the line, but when I got into the store, I met a guy and like he gave us some stickers and
Oh,
we
nice.
talked for a while. I'm like, so you'll still meet people and you can still have fun conversations, watch the
Yeah.
panels on your phone, so you can still interact.
Yeah.
I just don't want to spend a full day.
Right, right. We had multiple people, and so our battle plan was I'm gonna go pick up this. Do you guys want that? Or if I find this, I'll grab it for you. And so we had like 3 or 4 people in our group like spread out.
Yeah.
And then someone was already standing in the long line at the end.
Yep.
And so we did a little bit of cutting.
Which is smart. Hey.
And so, but we were in the pin line probably the longest
Oh,
because we
yeah.
grabbed all of our merch. And then it was like an hour or an hour and a half in that line. Again, talking to cool, fun people and stuff. But pins were selling out.
Oh yeah, pins were going crazy. And
Yeah, but pins are cool.
pins are super cool. My brother waited in the line. He got some cool pins. I will say, I really haven't run into like any real toxicity at Celebration, to be honest, except
Right.
for someone was going crazy in that pin line because they ran out of it and they were screaming saying they needed one more. Like, we don't got it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But
And I don't know if they held stock for like the days, but it
Yeah.
felt like it was just that one day and that was it.
yeah,
Like, in my opinion.
the pins are nice though. It's one of those things where pins aren't something I felt like I really cared about getting, and then somehow I started getting a few, and I'm like, I really want like it just sucks you in, you know. And
That's what happened.
I have a bunch from last one.
Yeah, that's what happened to us because we were there and we were like at the front, and they said we're all out of whatever, like the boxes because
Yeah.
they're all mystery boxes, right? And then when we got up, we're like, "Oh, what do you have left?" And she's like, "I have a few here.
Mm.
Don't say it out loud, but there are a few here that I can sell you." And then we're just like, we looked at each other, me and my friend, and we were like, "We'll take them all." We're like,
Hey,
because
this is
we're like, "Oh, 4 or 5," and then we're like, "Let's just 10 each, and let's just like,
this
once
is a
in a lifetime."
lesson. Be nice. Be kind.
Yeah.
People,
Mhm.
a lot of times, you're not gonna get that stuff if you're pushy. Like they're not gonna just go out on a limb for you if they got a couple left and you're being rude. But I don't want
Right.
to talk about the story the whole time. There's a lot more here,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
this
yeah.
doesn't necessarily have to be the longest thing, but there's I am super excited about Celebration being in Japan because Japan has such a rich culture, and I think a lot of that is going to bleed into like the artwork is probably going to be
Mm,
phenomenal. I think the
mm.
cosplay is going to be phenomenal because
Oh,
you're going to have a
cosplay,
lot
yeah,
of
for sure.
Japanese influence, and I just think it's going to inspire a lot of people to kind of do new things that you don't typically see at the cons. So I'm pretty pumped for that because the ones we went to were Chicago and LA, and I love those cities. But I don't think that there's like, oh, this is the LA based cosplay here, and like, oh, this is the Chicago. Like,
Yeah,
no one's dressing up as Mace Windu as a Chicago hot dog or something, you know?
yeah. No, I think that's a great point. Um, yeah, the cosplay is going to be insane in Japan for sure, especially the locals, um, because they're very creative, and that stuff will just like you said will bleed in. So I am feeling a little insecure about if I do try to do something because they're going to be like showing up,
Hey,
but
you'll be all right, man. Look, I feel like Celebration. It doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. It really doesn't
Doesn't
matter.
matter.
It
Like
doesn't matter.
we're not going. Yeah, this is the place to
Yeah,
do it.
yeah. Everyone's
Are you
having a good
planning
time.
on? I obviously it's super early, and I know it's tough because you have to fly this stuff out and everything.
Yeah,
There's ways to get creative and all, and figure out.
yeah.
But do you have any sort of like? Do you hope to cosplay there?
Probably just the Disney bound, Star Wars bound. So
All right.
more of the Burgundy Squad attire that I've been posting online and stuff because that's just like clothes, right?
Yeah. Shout out
Easy
Burgundy
pack in
Squad.
the bag. Yeah, shout out to Burgundy Squad. And I'm gonna try to influence you guys at least for one day, to either just like have a vest on or
Hey,
something.
I want to. I think I will. I think I will.
Nice,
Uh,
nice.
my my step into cosplaying is probably going to be simply black pants and a fin jacket, po jacket slash
Oh
fin
yeah,
jacket, and a
yeah,
black
yeah,
shirt
yeah,
because I feel like
yeah,
it's easy. It's not. I mean, it's just a jacket, a shirt. It's that's it. But
yeah.
it's still the first step. I've never cosplayed. The last time I dressed up for Halloween, I got clowned. I'll tell that story later, or you can ask me about it. But
Yeah.
I do envy. Like, I think the whole Burgundy Squadron thing I think is awesome,
Yeah.
and it's something I would like to do, and I just haven't dipped my toe in that. But maybe one
Sure.
day.
Yeah, yeah. I actually just picked up a jacket at Goodwill, and I'm pretty sure it was like an old Asian lady's jacket, but
Yep.
it fit perfectly in the Star
Hey,
Wars universe.
also,
So I'm like, dude, this is amazing.
in
$10,
case
like it was
someone doesn't
great.
know what Burgundy Squadron is, can you give them like a
Oh,
super quick like what's going on here?
for sure, for sure. So Burgundy Squadron is a small little Instagram group community. Billy Maddox put it together, and he was trying to get people who wanted to dress as like just denizens of Star Wars. So it's not like your stormtroopers and your Jedi's. Initially, it's like original character, or you just dress like a civilian, kind of in the vein of like Andor. Like you would just see them on Ferrex. So we have the Ferrex Friday hashtag, and we just kind of repost each other and just kind of support each other. So it's a little just cosplay group. And if you want to join, it's open to join. You just reach out to Billy and say, hey, I have an original character, and here's kind of like a little backstory. And then just kind of post on Instagram. So it just makes it a little fun, and there's a lot of creative people that are willing to help each other out. So that's what Burgundy Squadron is.
Pretty sweet. I'm a fan. If you guys want to see more of that, you can hit up his at Parade Arena right there, and
Mhm.
catch him on a Friday. You'll see they show
Yeah,
out.
you'll see a lot of stuff. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I can tell you what I'm most excited for, and I'll give you a second because I'm kind of putting you on the spot, so I'll go first
Yeah, yeah.
here.
Mhm.
Like you're at Star Wars Celebration. Ideally, what is your what do you hope to see the most from a panel? Because mine, obviously, I think it's
Ooh.
pretty easy to guess. 10-year anniversary of The Force Awakens, which I hope isn't overshadowed. I hope we have a panel for the 10-year, but I also hope more than anything we have a movie panel because I miss movies so much. And I
Mhm.
hope we do have a panel for the Rey New Jedi Order movie because I am obviously a big fan of The Force Awakens and
Yeah.
the characters established in The Force Awakens. And I hope that not that I like the sequel movies, but there's certain characters who I'd like to see done more justice to, and I hope we get
Right.
that, and I think we're going to.
Yeah.
I want that panel, but also the 10-year anniversary. I hope it doesn't get overshadowed.
Ah, man, have they do you know if they skipped any
Skipped
big,
any.
like, tentpole movie anniversaries?
The issue is it's the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith, So I pray.
I remember us talking about
Look,
that.
give him the 25. Give me the 10. I love both movies.
Ooh, yeah, that's so tough.
They can
man.
celebrate
so
both. If they don't have 10-year anniversary stuff for The Force Awakens, it might be I don't know. I might just go walking off into the distance and I'll go find a new life.
Like Eli, come back.
The celebration's gonna be there in 20 years and you're gonna see me with like a full beard and I'm gonna go.
Did we celebrate it? Yeah. We'll celebrate it. We'll celebrate it one year. So real quick on that point, it's gonna be very difficult to go. I think it's gonna be difficult for them, even though you could easily do it to go Revenge of the Sith or Force Awakens, but just because the sequels don't get as much love as the prequels do right at this moment, I think it might overshadow. I hope not, but I think it's easier to get Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor to come right now than Daisy Ridley and Finn and
I disagree.
Hey,
she signed on.
Actually, you're right about that. She will,
and I bet you John Boyega signed on too, but we don't know that. And I also think Oscar Isaac would be easy to get back. I hope if he does, it's a small role, but like they're signed. I think they're on the dotted line.
Yeah, no, that's actually true because Daisy is signed up for a movie, so she is contractually required to do some
But actually, right. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll be hard to get any of them.
Right, sure. Because I was there for were you in the Attack of the Clones anniversary panel? Okay, yeah, and that was great. Awesome. That was a fun time. Yeah, and Hayden and Ewan coming as a surprise guest was fantastic. My buddy walked out, which was
I remember that story.
He left before they came.
There was a gentleman I know from the Fan Awakens too who he wanted to see Hayden so badly and he missed him at like every stop. And I had been messaging him like, "Are you coming to the 20th anniversary panel?" And I think the same thing happened. I think he heard that Hayden wasn't going to be there, or he might have left early because he wasn't there initially. And then I'm like, dude, he's here. Come on.
You have to go if you want to see these actors and you're not going to go in autograph lines. You have to just risk the time to go there, and they're a good time. It's fun. It was entertaining, especially like Attack of the Clones is not even close to any of my favorite movies, but it was cool seeing like the cast there and like Tamora Morrison and having a great time. So definitely do that. But movie panels for sure, because I haven't experienced being in a crowd for a new movie panel. The closest that I got was I was there for the Ahsoka. Trailer, which was insane.
Sweet.
And I was hyped. So like being there for the movie panels, and it's something we talked about in one of your earlier podcasts about like 2025 is going to be the year for the movie trailers, and I'm still sticking my flag in that. I'm looking forward to that the most, for sure.
Because 2025, I think Mandalorian Grogu is supposed to come out this December, I believe.
I don't know.
It might be 26.
That movie.
I think it's 25. Either way, they have to have it. They're filming soon, if not already. So they're gonna have stuff for that.
Yeah, it should be the Rey movie, and there'll probably be a teaser for either the director for Logan.
I'm gonna put it in a bubble later.
I can look it up, but we should get for sure the Daisy Ridley movie and either one or two trailer teasers for the other two.
Yep. I think
like because even the Ahsoka was kind of like not even, it was like a 15-second thing.
With the Daisy Ridley movie, I doubt they'll show anything at that point, but like I think the place would go nuts if John Boyega came out. Like he's always been one of us, you know what I mean? Like I remember in 2019, he'd already been in 2 movies at that point. They showed the trailer for Rise of Skywalker. And after he was on the Star Wars show stage, and then he went out the back and was walking the floor, just walking around, you just hear people going crazy. I think they're gonna bring the money, bring him back.
I hope so.
I'm not trying to be a pocket watcher here or anything. I say that often, but I immediately talk about watching pockets. I think they paid Daisy like $12 million for this.
Okay.
And so, I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of money. And John Boyega would probably get around the same, if not more.
They did them dirty. They need
a lot of money to say no to. So I hope.
Yeah, I definitely think we'll get those movies, and even if it's just Daisy Ridley, I would be happy. But it makes sense if they do we'll know what panels they'll have beforehand, so we'll be able to speculate then. Outside of that, I'm not big on autographs. And it's such a time sink too. That's the only thing. It's like I waited for Sam Witwer for like 3 hours, and it was fantastic experience. But again, that's 3 hours of
oh man, I got Whitwer also, and I think we waited an hour and a half or so, maybe almost 2. But the thing is, like, while we're waiting in that line, I heard like Rosario Dawson came out on Star Wars stage, and I wish I would have been there because everybody's going crazy and I could hear it. And I'm like, man, I got to stand shoulder to shoulder for another 45 minutes.
Yeah, is the Star Wars stage where they just have like in the middle and then
Yep.
like people just come out. So that stage is really cool.
I
wish I
that
was
stage.
able to get close to there, but I was nowhere near
I have
it at all.
maybe I'll put it in the end of this video as the credits. I have so many videos from like last year in 2019. We're like right there. Even when Ewan and Hayden came out, we were really close.
Oh,
And,
nice.
like the energy, even if that's my thing, if you can't get into the panels and you want to experience like the communal experience of everybody getting hyped, go to Star Wars stage. I'm telling you, you can literally look and see on the teleprompter who's coming next, like 10 minutes in advance, and then just stay and try and weasel your way closer.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. See, now this is another thing I thought of. If we're gonna buy merch, we have to be able to take it back to the States.
That is true, and that is something I thought about already, which is tough.
It is tough, but in the previous year, in 2022, I didn't buy anything big, even though I'm here, right?
Yeah, able to drive, we could put in the car.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I had was like the cosplays I was wearing, but my friends took that because they drove. But I don't remember buying anything big. But if you're planning on buying something big, you're gonna pay money for
it costs money,
shipping and all that stuff. I'm wondering what it costs at Disneyland because there is kind of like a little trick you can sell stuff or buy stuff at Disneyland and ship it to your house. But I don't know what it would be like at Tokyo.
That's something we can probably make a video about that. I'll do some research. It is a good point though. Just be prepared, knowing that if you're gonna buy stuff, you gotta bring it back. Which is oh man, that's another thing.
Yeah, because I mean, we're talking about if we're depending on how long the audience is staying or how long we're staying, it's like clothes or laundry or cosplay or merch. So
I took a risk in Chicago and I bought this signed Daisy Ridley BB-8 portrait behind me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I live in California. I'm like, damn, it's gonna be so expensive to ship this thing. And I didn't know what to do. It's my first time even traveling like out of state, like by myself like that and flying somewhere. And I talked to the guy and he was like, it took a lot of back and forth, but he was like, I will go home, take it home, and I'll ship it to you. So I gave him my info and everything. I paid him for it. And so it's a bit, I'm like, oh man, I don't know if he's actually going to send me this or not. He seems like he will, but I don't know. I'm just giving him money and he's like, yeah, I'm going to send it to you. And then he didn't. And I'm like, he's like, I'll send it right away. You should have it within the week. And he didn't. And I'm like, oh. And so I messaged him and I got nothing. And I messaged him again like 3 days later and I got nothing. And then like at the end of like 2.5 weeks, at that point, I'm like, well, I lost money. His wife called me and she was like, hey, and I had seen her out there too, but I didn't really talk to her that much. She's like, hey, this is so-and-so's, wife from his company. It's like, he actually caught pneumonia and he's been in the hospital. I'm like, oh my God, I feel so bad. And she's like, we just sent it out today though. So like, we're sorry for not telling you anything. He hasn't been on his phone.
You're like, you better be dead. I want my money back, you POS. Just like threatening this man.
I was
like dying on his deathbed.
And even that, I was like, man, I had even within a week, I was like, it's over. I was had. But no. So,
you got to be patient on that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because again, if like the vendors there, they're busy people.
Yep,
like they're business owners and they're bringing like a bunch of stuff and stuff's probably getting shipped and coordinating. And then even after the con, fulfilling orders like that, just like, ugh. So if you're planning to do something like that, it's you got to take a little bit of faith that people are going to honor their
thing is if you don't want to stress about that, you're going to have to spend money and ship it and pay those fees to make sure it's shipped well. Because also you don't want to go too cheap and have it arrive broken or like whatever the case, depending on what you're shipping, I know you're not big on autographs. Do you do photo ops or anything?
I haven't in the past. I mean, if I was going to do a photo op, it would just be like with a phone. like I've taken pictures with the celebrities with autographs and stuff.
Yep.
But I feel like if you're gonna get the print, definitely bring one of those rolling tubes.
Oh, yeah.
But again, it's like this is Japan, so it's gonna be a little bit different, like with travel, because there's size limitations on what you can bring on and off the plane. You can't just bring everything without again paying
I
for
think
it.
if it's my thing is I do plan on hopefully getting some autographs if everything
Mhm.
goes okay. I think I'm gonna have to make sure that it's of a certain size so I can put it in a flat, like laminate thing, like
Oh, okay.
sleeve, so that I don't have to have like a roll,
Roll.
and then I could
Okay.
put it in my luggage or whatever the case flat, and just save space that way. So like probably no full size posters, you know.
Yeah.
Probably
Ooh, man. Now we're talking logistics, man. It's making me sweat.
there's so
It's
much to
making
talk about though, and we have what 10 months
Yeah, we have
until,
some time.
so we're
Yeah.
gonna have all these videos coming out pretty constantly between our channels, so obviously make
Yeah.
sure you hit us up, because the other big thing for me is like I do want to make sure that like I'm someone you guys can lean on if you're watching, if you
Mm.
have questions, if you have you know, big or small, something with traveling, something with being at the con, advice on this or that, always feel free to reach out to the DMs or to the comments, whatever you're comfortable with. This video was really just to expel some of our hype, because
Yeah.
we were both like furiously texting as we were like trying to get these tickets. And even I love how you messaged me and I was like, I can't remember if I asked you or how it came up, if you were getting merch. And like, nah, I don't think so, because you got to pick it up there. And then you're like,
I
got
said, I'm
merch.
making Yeah, just total flip flopped on that one, super hard. And real quick to your point about reaching out, definitely you can reach out to me as well. I'm gonna keep an eye on the Fan Awakens comments, because I have done international travel already, and we're gonna do videos about that on both the ReignCore channel and the Fan Awakens channel, just to make sure you guys are informed, or what I've done for travel, because I did a 15-hour flight to Thailand. I'm guessing Japan will be something similar to that, and what you guys can expect, because I did a bunch of research for that for my first, they call them long haul flights. And I know some of you Star Wars citizens haven't done it yet, so this will be a fun little experience for all of us moving forward.
This is the hub. This is Celebration Cantina. This is where you go to meet like-minded folk. You know, the scum, the villainy, we're all going to Japan.
It should be more of the Celebration war room, because it's like cantina. It's like, oh, we're drinking, we're having a good time.
We're not having a good time.
We're not having we're standing like with Leia and like all the other rebellion, just like, okay, how are we going to defeat this Death Star?
We got the chart showing the Death Star slowly aligning with our planet.
They're like, many Bothans died with these wallet plants. Like,
also, like, real talk though, like this, I want this to be this, and just us in general, to be sort of like you know, a group that is going to go to Celebration. You know, we're gonna be there. We're gonna be on the floor. We're gonna be walking around, and like I even like for LA, Anaheim, my channel's super small, right? But there was still like when the con was happening, constantly messaging back and forth with folks about like, you know, quick little questions here or there, like, hey, have you experienced this? Have you done this? And I'm always here for that stuff. We did a meetup, and we had 2 people show up, which was still awesome. Like, to me, like, we were gonna go to dinner anyways, and I'm just like, hey, we're going to dinner here if anyone wants to meet up. And it was cool because, like, you know, these people are traveling alone, and they're like, hey, I was honestly just gonna chill in my hotel room and do nothing. And so we met some cool folks, and I hope to do something like that again this year, or next year, but hopefully a little bigger, right? And it'll be fun, man. I'm hyped.
I'm hyped too, man, because I didn't get to go. I remember I'm like Eli, I was with another group, so I was like, I know Eli had it open for people to go, and I wasn't able to because they, you know, I was just kind of following with their plans. But if me and Eli's plans to be together this time, we're gonna have the ReignCore Fan Awakens meetup for sure.
Like Godzilla and Kong.
Yeah,
But, neither of us are a monkey or a lizard, unless you want us to be. I could probably find a suit. I mean, Japan, we could probably find something.
Yeah, easy. Even for my stories, I did the Godzilla theme.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I'm super hyped. Let's talk about the tickets. What was your experience like in the queue waiting for the tickets?
I had full disclosure, I was at work, and I was working. I had two phones,
Many people
and
were.
an iPad, and like I just had them all set up. And there was one of the two phones. I was like, this one I don't even trust it to make it. It's an old phone, and that one jumped up, and I'm like, oh no, like this is it's got a questionable battery.
Yeah.
But I know we were texting back and forth like, okay, I'm supposed to get at 438, and you're like 442, 432, back to 38, and so um, I had, of course, I had a sliver of hope that I might get in quick, and get a VIP ticket. I didn't, and the
Okay.
thing is, didn't bother me one bit. I'm not even stressed over that. Once I
Saving
got in there,
hundreds of dollars.
that's the only reason I bought merch. The only reason at all. I'm eating dinner tonight.
Yeah.
So, but I had a good time. Got in there, and I like that they give you plenty of time to kind of deliberate over things. I did
Yeah.
freak out because I had chose my merch, and then I went to checkout, and I wanted to make sure that the ticket stuff was fine. So I went back, and it was like a blank screen, and I'm like, please no, please no, please no, please no, please no, please no. And then I had to like refresh it, and I went back, and I had to like back arrow twice, and it brought me back to my checkout. And I'm like,
Oh, okay.
ooh,
Oh, that is scary.
but
That
it
is
all
scary.
ended well. Like I said, we got me and my brother going together, right? So I got our tickets, got us each 2 shirts, the Japanese shirts, the key art pins, and then the logo pins, the Japanese logo pins, and the
Nice.
lanyards. There we go.
Nice.
Overall, it went well. How about you?
Yeah, I had just my computer or my computer and my laptop, and then I did just go on my phone just in case, but I didn't really pay attention to it because it seemed to go fine. It was funny because I don't know if you were doing it, but within the 5-minute mark, whenever I'm waiting for something, I'll just kind of like refresh every so often, and it did open 2 minutes earlier than 4 o'clock on
So
Pacific Standard Time. So
I got the email 2 minutes early, and I just clicked on it, and it took me there.
got it. Got it. Yeah, so I was just refreshing, and I was like 3:58, get in. And so when I got in, I messaged you and I said it's live. And but when it said how much time, there was already people in there because it said it was about an hour wait or more than an hour.
Yeah, it was over an hour.
And then as we were waiting, I was like, okay, well, I could still kind of like do stuff around the house. I don't have to like sit at my computer to wait. Because even if you close the screen out, if you came back, it did say at the top, get back in. It's probably IP
that makes me
address and
nervous,
stuff.
but yeah.
But yeah, I really wouldn't do it. But I got in about an hour, like before the hour, like our 5 o'clock hour, and then I think it was about 15 minutes to find stuff, and I said I'm not going to buy anything right when we talked, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna change my mind on that. Why did I change my mind on that? I think it's just like the hype of it all.
Yep, you get hyped in.
And I know I'm gonna go. There's gonna be very few possibilities that I won't because I'm like I want to go. I've been wanting to go. It's been in the plan forever. Um, I'm curious. Like I didn't want to miss it if when we went and then I didn't have it. I just don't want to deal with not having it. So let's just lock it in now. Because the whole merch store thing. That's why we were talking about the merch store. Because if you don't get it then, it's kind of like a lost thing. So I'm like, it's hard to get any of that celebration stuff after the fact. These are kind of like one-time deals, because like I don't see people reselling, or if it's like double or triple the price or whatever. It's like you got to get it right there and then, because you're not gonna have another opportunity to. So going for the shirt and the pin, which I wanted, I'm good with. If I don't, I like the lanyard because I got the lanyard from 2022, but that was an impulse buy when I'm in the store. So the stuff I let go because I was like, oh, I kind of want the key art magnet. If I just see it at the store, I'll probably get it there. I didn't want to lock it in right now. It wasn't like the must-haves I got. So I bought the 3-pin set, which is the logo. They have one in English. They have a hybrid one that says Japan 2025 Star Wars, and then it's in Japanese, and then a full Japanese one. And then I did buy the logo hybrid shirt. So same thing, Japan 2025 Star Wars, and then Japanese writing underneath in Celebration. The pins, I couldn't decide which one I wanted, so I was like, I'm just going for all three. I was like, I'm just going for all three. And it was like $30 for the pin set, $30 for the shirt. So it's not like unreasonable. And again, like those are souvenirs basically.
I have a question. Did you have the conversion calculator out? Because I did, and every time I'm adding something, I'm like, oh my god, let me check.
I had the conversion tab open, and I was just like yen to USD. So yeah. But I think I only it was just a little over $200, you know. So it's like if I can't go, you know, the resell, and then I'm just eating a $60 merch thing. I know you spent a little bit more because you have tickets and you're buying for one more person. But
that was stressful too because I didn't talk to my brother at all, and he trusts me, and like he's really easy to please as far as like merch and stuff. Like he's not picky with that. But I was like, I don't know what you want, so I'm just gonna buy this, this, and this, and this, and we're gonna. One thing I will say, like the lanyards they make aren't always like the designs will vary, right? You don't know what it's gonna be.
Right.
I like the 2019 one a lot more than the 2022 one. But what I will say is if you're not going to buy their lanyard, I do recommend bringing or buying a like a good lanyard because they'll give you a free one. It is very cheap. It's very flimsy, and I'm kind of paranoid about losing my pass.
Your ticket, it's your pass in.
And so my one quick thing, and I'll have more videos about this, but get a good lanyard. Whether you get it there, bring it, whatever the case, have an extra. I'm not kidding you. I double up, man.
Yeah, no, that's because it's your ticket in, and it's hard to replace those. I remember because when we did the getting the tickets, they were giving free box lunch ones or
they're like Amazon or box lunch or whatever the case.
Yeah, those broke.
Yep,
mine broke,
cheap.
And I didn't have it tied to my my lanyard yet or my ticket yet, so I was like, okay, you're right about that. They don't really hold up very well. So bring a lanyard. That would be my suggestion.
Yep.
Just in case we're not doing free ones or whatever.
Can you get an arm sleeve like for the phone or whatever, like a quarterback play calling?
I don't even think it's great to even wear it. Like honestly, because it could get caught on something and then you dropped or you know what I mean.
When I walk around, I literally have my hand on it. Like I'm so paranoid, dude. I'm so paranoid with that stuff.
We also have the bracelets.
Yeah. Oh,
so that kind of helped. Yep. But those ones I raccooned myself in one because they have you can pull it to tighten, but it doesn't loosen because they don't want you to take it off for the weekend. And I was just in the elevator messing around with it, and it tightened on me, and I'm like, oh no. And so I was like, crap. So I ran back down there, and I was like, is there a way to loosen it? And like, I think there's like you can do like a little pin.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do it because the guy's like, I don't have a pin. So I like found a table, I cut it off, and I grabbed another one and put it on. Because again, they were not organized, and I'm like, I just need to not do that ever again.
At Anaheim, day one especially, anyone could have walked in.
Anyone off the street could have walked in. I'm
not going to go on too much longer here. You know, we have so much to talk about and everything, but like, I'm so excited. We're starting to get announcements, which makes it feel real. Obviously, like the announcements right now in the beginning, it's like Ashley X. You know they're gonna be there. I'm so excited, but like those are the gimmies. But like you said, Ahmed Best is
Ahmed Best.
Dude, he's gonna get so much love, and
that's
he
gonna
has
be great
been. Which is now he's got his Mandalorian. What is it? The Sabered Hand.
Cameo. Yeah. I mean, and I watched with my daughter. I watched Jedi Temple Challenge. So if I happen to meet him, if his autographs are cheap enough, I'd be like, "Hey, we really like your show. You know, it's great, and you're great in it."
Yeah, I'm glad. You know, that stuff comes full circle. It's nice that he's getting his love now. Before we go, I know you're excited for the Phantom Menace coming up this weekend. I'm taking my nephew. It's gonna be the first time he's seen a Star Wars movie in theaters. It was my first Star Wars movie I saw in theaters. First Star Wars movie I saw in general. I have force fed him movies he was too young to even know. He was like, he still had a soft spot when I was showing him. So like, you know, he didn't probably retain it, but he does know the world and he knows the characters and stuff. So
sure,
I'm pretty pumped for that. So that's there is a full circle moment.
I'm definitely not gonna go see it. And mind you, I really love the Phantom Menace when I was a kid. It's just not my 2 hours I don't want to waste 2 hours.
Yeah.
But also my family, I don't know why, but my family, we're doing like a family dinner that specific day. I'm like, any other weekend you guys could have picked, but it's fine because we're doing like my whole family's big Star Wars fans. So we're like trying to do a Star Wars themed family dinner. So I'm gonna look in our in my cookbook.
Hey, bro, I was gonna say you're ready to go.
Oh yeah, I'm like,
I'm showing up.
Yeah, I was like, I always dress Star Wars, so that's not even an issue. I am curious. I got to look to see what the those metal tin buckets. I know you collect a few. Are you gonna grab one? I'm wondering how much those will be because I could just walk into my theater. I don't even need a ticket and probably just buy one.
Like for
20,
a little more. Usually like 26 to 30 after tax. I have a bunch of them, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I have so many. I use them as my trash cans.
Yeah,
I have like a Black Panther one right here, a Captain America one.
I remember when I visited you, I saw a bunch of them. I was like, there's a lot of.
I use them though. Like I have one that holds some kitchen utensils. I have one that I keep my mail in as I like new mail. I just put in there. If I don't open it in time, then I'll just I'll go through it within the week.
Trying to think of ways I could use one because I'm like, I don't really need
I have a bunch of the closet too, so they take up space.
Yeah, because they're pretty sizable.
They do stack, which is nice, but like I'll be honest, I bought the Dune one because I love the movie. The bucket's pretty lame. like it's Dune 2, I gotta buy it. They got.
What about the top? How's the top? The Shia Halud isn't lame at all.
I didn't get that one. I tried. Okay. They don't have that at. Although off topic, Regal's my theater here where I live. They've always really been second place as far as like promotional buckets and things to AMC. AMC dropped the worm for the Shia Halud, right? And then since then, Regal's been going crazy. They've been doing a lot. I got a Ghost Trap. They had a Ghost Trap popcorn bucket.
Cool. Yeah, that one looked cool.
They've got a couple new ones coming out. So
yeah, when I was in Thailand, that's when Dune 2 dropped, and they had them ready available. So
did you?
Me and my buddy
keep that one?
No, God no.
This might check.
We won't. My buddy left it in the theater, and I go, "You got to bring that back to the Airbnb. We can't leave that here." I think we left it at the Airbnb though.
I'm gonna be honest. I looked online to buy one secondhand. A little risky, but
real risky.
But yeah,
the
man.
Thing was huge. It's like this big. It's
it's big.
It's super tall.
Big worm.
But it was a funny little gag, and everything's a little bit cheaper in Thailand, so it was a lot of fun to take pictures with it. But yeah, I'm excited for Star Wars Celebration and still buzzing off of. It feels real now. We bought the tickets, so we're somewhat locked in. And
once it's already happening, but once I have my flight tickets, and I think I am gonna save up a little longer because I want it to be somewhat comfortable. So I'm gonna try and save a little bit more than I would have thought initially. Not that I'm gonna go crazy or anything. I'm still looking for a deal, but I'm gonna try and find some. But once we get the flight, I'll sleep on the street if I have to. Like we'll be there.
We'll just walk 24 hours. That was something I was considering too. It's like we really can't get the hotel until we know what dates we're gonna be there too. Because if we're gonna go to Japan, you can't just go for the convention. You got to do a little bit more and stay a little bit longer. Because if you're doing a 15-hour flight, like you got to make it worth the time.
I'm going on Friday and I'm coming home. I got the 1 day pass.
The 1 day.
Arrive Friday morning, leave Friday night.
But I can't wait to do more of the videos about that traveling thing. I'm excited to talk to people and answer questions about that and Celebration moving in. I can't wait to see more videos from you. Kind of dissecting some of the news that comes out if we can't host it together.
Look, we're the 1-2 punch you need. We're here for you. Fan Awakens, ReignCore. This has been great, man. I appreciate you coming on. Real quick, if you guys want to continue on this journey to Celebration, hit that subscribe button. You know it all goes a long way. You can find me here at the Fan Awakens. You can find me on Instagram at the Fan Awakens. You can find me on TikTok for a little while as the Fan Awakens, although I don't check it all the time. Where can they find you, my friend?
You can find me on Instagram. My main channel is Parade Rainer, PARADEREIGNER. And you would definitely want to check out the ReignCore Instagram channel, REIGNCORE, and the YouTube channel. Because we're going to be posting more celebration information. We're going to be talking about merch. We'll talk about the lines. We're going to talk about travel. We're going to talk about everything Star Wars Celebration leading up, like our plans, what you guys should be looking out for. I even got notes for the rules to go into Japan.
Yep.
So we're going to have that info too. And it'll just kind of be like that one stop, maybe two stop shop, either the Fan Awakens or ReignCore to find info. But also shirts and merch. And
all
giveaways.
That will be linked. All that stuff will be linked in the bio, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Hit them up. You know, it's Star Wars season. You need a nice, cozy Star Wars shirt to drink your blue milk. You got you.
We got you.
But thank you for joining us on this ride. Again, Fan Awakens, ReignCore, Parade Rainer. Until next time, Star Wars is for everybody. I'll see you.
Punch Chewie. Boom.